4, 3, 2. Hold on.
The local service center.
We
And number here is
are
555-3700.
Hello,
Thanks, Jim.
Andrew.
Hey, come back and see us.
Hello, everyone.
Even when you don't have the
Welcome
time to spend
to
with the customer
the-
or have the
oh,
final
sorry,
answer,
I'm hearing some
Nintendo's
weird doubles.
got the answer to the
Welcome
problem.
to the
We have
official
a nationwide
Pokemon
network
Showdown,
of authorized
Showdown
service centers
2.
equipped
the
to take care of
second-
your customers'
gonna
product
say-
service needs. And in the rare instance where a product under warranty is malfunctioning, they will either repair it or replace it free of charge.
Yep.
And in all out-of-warranty situations, they will
Okay.
test the
There we
product
go.
on
I
the spot and fix it
misunderstood
at a
what
minimal
a couple
cost,
volume
all with
levels
no hassle to you
corresponded to.
or your customer.
Okay,
We will
am
provide
I...
you with the name
am I
and
back?
address of the
Everyone-
authorized
can everyone
service center
hear,
closest to
the
your store.
lovely Andrew
Or
Sherman? Is
you
it-
can
are we-
refer
are
your
we
customers to
good to
Nintendo's
go?
800
Should
Service
be.
Assistance Hotline.
They can
Either
still
way,
hear it.
you'll be able to give your customers the
Yep,
information
I
they
can
need
hear
to
it.
get their problems handled quickly and efficiently. And you'll spend very little time in the
Authorized
process.
service center equipped to
Most
handle leads.
importantly, you'll save your company the high cost of handling unnecessary customer returns. And in those instances that you must exchange a product
Is-
for your
is
customer,
there
always
a
exchange like
promo
items.
playing
And of
twice?
course,
Wait a minute.
only what the customer.
All right. How about now, folks?
There we go. It sounds like it is gone.
Yay! All right. That's what I get for inheriting a layout with a lot of volume bars, and I am I am but one humble streamer. What am I to do? Hi, Andrew. How you doing?
Hi, Jay. Welcome back. We are working with some scenes created by other people, so we're not entirely sure how all the tech works, but here we are. We are back and live with the second official Pokemon Showdown. We've been playing for the past 2 days. It's kind of like a WrestleMania type deal where we just wrestle and never stop. But we are going to the final matches today. We're kicking off with our, I believe it is a quarterfinal 1v1v1v1 match,
Yes.
followed by our semifinal fusion matches, and ending things today with our backwards meta finals.
That's
Wild formats tonight. But what are we looking at? What can we expect, Jay? What are we looking at?
okay. So the idea here. Hold on. Let me show us the Titantron. Here we're gonna do this smooth little transition over to the boards. So what we're dealing with is a situation where we have these 8 players. We're doing 1v1, v1, v1. 2 of those. Taking the first 4 players, Jeff Stormer, Marn last name, Ruby, and Sam, putting them into a, as I said, 1v1, v1, v1, free-for-all. Each one of them has 6 Pokemon, randomly selected. However, there are 4 of them. What will ensue? The top 2 of that 1v1 will then go on to face each other in the semifinals. Similarly, down after that, Mac, Floor, L, and Wheels will be facing off in their own utterly hellish gauntlet to find out which 2 of them are allowed to proceed on.
So we're about to see a battle royale between 4 players. Each of them have 6 Pokemon. That's 24 Pokemon worth of battle, right?
Yes, that sounds about right.
Okay, so we're gonna see at least 18, up to 24. If we see actually 19, if we see 19 Pokemon, that means one of these players has swept everything else with a single Pokemon. So we're probably gonna see a little bit more than that.
I think so too. I do wanna share as we get going just real quick here. First of all, hi Andrew. I'm very glad to be subbing in for Riley. We didn't really say Riley is out today, and so I am very happy to be subbing in.
Welcome, Jay.
Brushing off the dust from my horrendous defeat at your hands yesterday, much as you got your absolute shit kicked in and just kicked to the curb by Mac. There's still just ash and dust all over the side of the road, but we'll clean it up.
I mean, I wouldn't refer to it that way, but it is what happened.
Yeah, you know, I don't know, like this has ever happened to you. I'm very happy to be here. I do want to quickly share as we get going. Hold on, there we go. I do want to. Well, I need to close studio mode. There we go. I do want to share real quick. I have been seeing extended family this weekend around doing this, including my cousin's 8-year-old kid. And I do want to share that I heard a lot this weekend about my cousin's 8-year-old kid's made-up Pokemon Sword Lord. Sword Lord is Steel, Dragon, Dark, Fighting, and Flying type.
Wow.
Yeah, so really, if Sword Lord were to come into this competition, truly a sweep. I don't think we'll be seeing an appearance, but you never know. But
it sounds like that's the 19th Pokemon that's gonna sweep all 18 of the others on one side of the field.
That's extremely true.
Yeah, Pokemon's gone up to having 2.5 types on a single Pokemon, so exciting to see that amount double. We'll try to look into adding Sword Lord to the game into into our future tournaments. But in the meantime, do we think that we're ready to get into some promos?
Yes, we need to.
I was gonna say, as we introduce these players, this one's a fascinating one for me. We've got Jeff Stormer, my mortal enemy, Martin Last Name, my co-host from Argonauts, Ruby, who I believe is just a guy you know, and
a friend of mine.
my wife Sam.
Yep.
So, not really sure who I'm rooting for in this match.
It's a difficult one. Ruby, of course, got a lot of lows in the chat because they did play their first rounds on Friday from a Lowe's hardware store. Real truth. Today they are not doing that. Will that be a tactical advantage or disadvantage? Who can say? I cannot.
When they're fighting from Lowe's, they are going to do it right for less. But can they bring that energy today if they're playing presumably from home?
I understand the question. I think that's a very apt question. It really depends on, the sort of... Will there be any lumber-related Pokemon on the field? Will there be any game modes today that require anyone to build a deck? There's a lot of questions kind of unanswered, and it really depends on what we wind up getting faced by here.
If the Conkeldurr line comes up, there could be some shame coming.
Yes.
So,
glad you've mentioned this. Yeah.
people have things that they're experts at. And one thing that everyone's an expert at is preparing these promos. Do you want to kick over to those videos real quick?
Let's roll to it. First off, we have a lovely promo from the Jeff Stormer, which I am going to play for us right now.
All right, here we go. Promo on Ruby for the next round of the tournament. Oh. Ruby and Marn? Ruby and Sam. Okay, fuck. I guess here we go in 3, 2... Ruby? You better hope you get an employee discount because you are going to need a coffin and it's a whole lot cheaper to make one than to build one. I'm happy that you have made it as far in the tournament. Here we are. Finally, great. My congratulations. The first member of this MOONSHOT management that booked me. I am the hero. Sam of a tournament. I am the one that's all I really have to say. I am champion. We all know I am MOONSHOT management. I am the one that has to prove that I can marry your husband. I'm tired work and I am sorry that I was you know the best part of MOONSHOT network to the ground. Excited about there is not a damn thing that you can do about it. How do we do? Is that good? Do you want me to know? Is that good? That's good. Did that feel good? Right, I'm gonna go. I think that felt good. That felt good to me.
Incredible. I really
Great energy on that one. I love that a whole lot.
The true level of versatility happening is truly incredible. I do want to say, if anyone missed it, Jeff did tweet their background from their round 1 promo with all the sticky notes. Find that on Twitter if you haven't, because it's full of gems. Also full of gems. I woke up this morning to the promo from Marn, which she sent me at about 2 a.m, and it did cause me to nearly snort my morning coffee out of my nose for reasons that are about to become clear. So let's get.
Fuck you, Moonshot League! If you're dumb enough to enter the showdown this weekend, you're a big enough schmuck to get beat by Big Martin Last Name. Unforced errors, type combos that suck, Flareon. If you think you're gonna win against Big Martin Last Name, you're a stupid motherfucker. It's my belief that you're so bad at Pokemon you'll lose to this bullshit, guaranteed. If you practice for this match, you can kiss my ass. You heard me right, you can kiss my ass. Bring your Heatran, bring your Snorlax, bring your wife, I'll fuck her. That's right, I'll fuck your wife. Because at Big Martin Last Names, you're fucked 6 ways from Sunday. Take a hike to Big Martin Last Names, home of triple protecting. That's right, triple protecting. How does it work? If you can use protect 3 times in a row and not get hit, you get to fucking live. Don't stall, don't forfeit, don't fuck with me, or I'll rip your nuts off. only at Big Marn Last Names, the only trainer that tells you to fuck off. Ding ding, asshole! This battle starts the minute you finish promoing, and it better be good, cause you're a dead motherfucker. Big Marn Last Names Pokemon Beatdown. Exclusive home of the toughest trainers in the state of Maryland. Guaranteed.
So, Andrew, what was it like to hear your longtime Argonauts co-host go probably the hardest I've ever heard her go? I don't know about you.
That is absolutely the hardest I've ever heard Martin go. And that was incredible. I have no words.
Yeah, I told her, and I was told I wasn't the first person to say this, that something about Marn saying, "I'll fuck your wife," got me like, if I were to make a list of Moonshot people I would never expect to say those words, just not even out of, like not prudishly, just wouldn't expect it. Marn would be pretty fucking high on that list.
Martin, my wife is here. You're fighting her. Do we need to talk?
I gotta get a wife. Crap. While we all sit in the reverie of this one, Ruby did not provide me with a promo. If you want to envision one, just envision their can box armor can crush one they did at the moon landing. It's all you really need. Speaking of your wife, though, I don't like saying the sentence, Andrew, speaking of your wife, but Andrew, speaking of your wife, Sam did also send in a promo that we are going to screen right now.
Hi, Sam here again, and I'm bringing that same competitive Dynamax energy to this 1v1, v1v1v1 or whatever match. See, I've been training for this. I've read all of these strategy guides from the early 2000s, cover to cover. But Sam, you say, these are random, silly matches. Oh. I know, silly. I've seen things that people wouldn't believe. A Corsola made from a campfire. A piggy bank turned into a strange, strange man. Mr. Rhyme. I've Nuzlocked. I've played Fool's Gold in Xenoverse. I've done random hard mode ROM hacks. I have no idea what we're in for today. But I do know one thing. I'm ready to accidentally get some Pokemon killed.
Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. I did really like the Pokemon Emerald guidebook green screen situation going on there.
Yeah, I didn't expect that to happen. I didn't get to watch her film this one, but yeah, I have the same thing going on. I've got a cup. I never think to not use this cup when I go on screen, but here we are, drinking out of the void.
What cup? Oh man! Oh, where did Andrew's mouth go? Ah! All right. Well, hey, what do you say we mosey on over to the match zone and get things going here?
Looking at how this match is starting, Marn is in the same position that I started our match in, which is there's a grass type on the field, and I've got a big gross pile in Seismitoad.
Yeah, specifically in Seismitoad. You're absolutely right. We're gonna move in and let them get things going here. So you've got Seismitoad. Roserade is obviously poised to take that out, but like the thing is, there's plenty of switch game that can happen there.
One thing to keep in mind, it does look like these players are on teams. They are not.
Yes,
this Vanillux is not here to help Roserade. This Vanillux is probably going to hit Roserade as hard as it can with an ice move, which it has set up Hail as it entered the field, just as a heads up.
Thank you. I was going to bring that up. The Hail is interesting. I'm very curious who in either team will obviously be hurt by that, but who might be able to take advantage of that. Last night, we did see a pretty clutch, unexpected Snowcloak Frostlass get to come in and sort of use that to its advantage, and I wonder if we'll see anything like that here this evening.
Now, this battle's fascinating. Reshiram's here. It's a fire dragon, but, it's also dealing with an ice type and a water type.
Yes.
And Roserade's dealing with this fire dragon. Every Pokemon on this field has a Pokemon it is weak to on this field. And every Pokemon has something that it is strong against. The real question is, do I stay in and try to plant my spot? Or do I say, nope, let's get out of here and maybe start over with a new Pokemon?
I think for Marn, it's a switch, guaranteed. I think if I were in that position, I would not risk the 4 times grass damage, just because it's such an easy get that I would not understand Sam if she didn't go for that. And so I think that's a definite from them. Oh, we're getting there is that.
And there it is,
right there.
What do we got? We got a swap to Lycanroc, a protect off of Roserade, who blocks 2 moves that are incoming toward it. Everyone This is an episode of everyone's favorite sitcom, Everybody Hates Roserade. Reshiram firing off a heat wave to deal some damage. It deals a little bit to Lycanroc. Not as much as you'd expect to Vanillux for a Pokemon that's weak to a fire move like that.
Yeah.
We're seeing some swaps. We're seeing a Dynamax.
Dynamax dog. What?
Dynamax dog comes in, sets up a rock move to kill the Reshiram.
I'm glad that's happened because it's a good reminder. As you said, these are not teams. These are 4 individuals.
These are absolutely
people.
Not teams.
Yeah.
And people can Dynamax.
We're
learning things all the time. We've
Appleton
also
switch in.
Appleton swaps in. Roserade launches a Leaf Storm that almost kills Lycanroc, even though it's Dynamax. That's done almost twice the irregular HP that Lycanroc has because of the way that Dynamax works. Amoonguss comes out. We've swapped into a game of Everybody Hates Lycanroc.
Yeah, sincerely, it really is. Everyone is gunning for that dog. The question on my mind is who is going to use that fact as a distraction to take... Which of these grass types will use that as a distraction to take one of the others to task? A difficult question, because 2 of them are grass and poison, so that poison advantage, you don't really get off on anyone but Appleton. Will either Ruby or Sam try to gun on Jeff for that exact reason? Is that an opportunity they'll use?
Fascinating. And if Marn loses her Dynamax Pokemon here, on one hand, it's rough because you're losing a big Pokemon, but on the other hand, all 3 of Marn's opponents will have a Dynamax left in the tank.
Yeah.
I will say, chat is pointing out there is a Sushroom in the field with Among Us.
Are there
Call event. I think that's all the memes I have.
Yeah, well, we need some vents because there is an active sandstorm, and you do need to funnel that detritus out through the airstream. However you can. There's a little bit of crosstalk in the Showdown chat that I won't relay, but some movesets may not be lending themselves too easily to utilizing the situation as well as one may think.
Yeah, I will point out, Among Us is a Pokemon that it's primarily sent out as a supportive Pokemon. You're not really sending in Among Us to get in hard with the damage, right?
Vanillux comes back, gets sludge bombed,
the Appleton
poisoned.
swaps to Vanillux. Among Us uses Spore and fails. This Lycanroc got to sit on the field another turn.
Yeah.
It used Max Guard, but nothing attacked it.
Nothing attacked it. That point about people using that Dynamax as an opportunity worked a little too well.
It got a free extra turn, but didn't take advantage of that fact.
Yeah, all it did was live.
How could you know?
All it did was live. Ruby.
Meanwhile, this Vanillux takes a lot of damage last turn.
And
from that sludge bomb. It's poisoned. Hail is back on the field. It is no longer. Well, never mind. I spoke too soon.
That goes.
Max Rockfall's coming in. We keep swapping between Sandstorm to Hail, to Sandstorm to Hail.
Yeah.
And Lycanroc goes down to a Leaf Storm.
So that's 2 out right away. 2, again, grass types still on the field. Who is going to choose what to try? Will both players try and choose a flying type or a fire type to take these out? Is someone going to choose something that's an absolute wild card? The switch-in game is always one of the most interesting parts of this. I will say this is a mode that I actually did not get to test with Marn, and so it's very wild to see just how pandemonious it truly is.
We're currently going into turn 5. Sam has not lost a Pokemon yet.
Yeah.
Arcanine coming in from Jeff Stormer, showing off how powerful Intimidate is in a format like this. All 3 of Jeff's opponents have been lowered by their attacks. Unfortunately, none of them are really attacking Pokemon.
Yeah, no, not really. It's also, you mentioned, not only has Sam not lost a Pokemon, Sam has not lost a Pokemon or had to switch out. We haven't seen a single other member of Sam's team, which is just as fascinating.
Wow! A Flare Blitz off of Arcanine into Roserade gets protected. Among Us spores the Arcanine, and Avalugg uses Avalanche onto the Among Us. We've had some damage trade around the table, and that is a napping dog.
That is a napping dog.
But not much has changed in this turn, and it feels like everything has too. Wild how Pokemon can do that.
Yeah, it truly is, and I mean some of the we also have all these stat debuffs. Like everyone has either lowered attack and special attack, or is a sleeping dog. So no one is in their best condition. Another good opportunity to switch out if you're willing to risk that, but who knows? What I'm really wondering is if someone's going to try and do what was the play to get that Sandstorm running and Dynamax something else that can, again, change the weather tide to get that Sandstorm out a turn or two early.
Now, it's such a strange format. I feel like in a format like this, if you're the one that is going for the Dynamax, it feels like you're really drawing a target on your back. You know, you're saying, I have the biggest thing on the field, and everyone should look at it.
Now, speaking of things on the field, we do have a second Lycanroc out now, this one from Jeff. This is...
the other form of Lycanroc. This one's Dusk form. I believe the other one was just the regular form.
Yeah, you've got Dawn, Dusk, and Midnight, I think. This is the one that
sounds right.
Yeah, this is the one they introduced in the Ultras. I don't know if it has much in the way of like signature moves. I want to say it's got a pretty similar move set to the others. I don't know exactly what we can expect from this one versus the other one. Sam's Roserade goes down. Sam's first loss doesn't do a lot on that Avalugg. That rock slide there really didn't do much on Avalugg. Oh,
that Lycanroc comes in, rock slides, hits everyone, takes out that Rose. Avalugg flinched to that as well. So everyone now, Jeff swapped into another rock type. That means that he can take better advantage of the Sandstorm. Lycanroc's going to have boosted special defense in the sand, and the other Pokemon are taking chip damage every turn.
Fascinating. I need to... Okay.
Birdlord raises an interesting point. I do want to hear from you, Jay. Is Arcanine a honk shoe sleeper? Or do you think it's more of a honk me?
I think it looks more like, this is a genuinely good question. I think it's got, no, it's not. Yes, it is. I think it's got to be a honk shoe. That is a big dog that goes shoo. So some dogs have a big huffy puffy sound they make, and that is a huffy puffy looking dog. So I think it's a honk shoe kind of situation.
Now, we've got Golispod coming in from Sam. Interesting thing with Golispod, it does have the ability emergency exit, which means that if it falls to below half health, it will do a tactical retreat.
That's a great call. That's the kind of Pokemon that when you see it on your team and your lead falls, that's a good one to throw out kind of regardless of what's going on around you, because that ability kind of gives you an ability to go in, hit, leave, no matter what you're facing, as long as your moveset can sort of apply itself to that.
Exactly. Lycanroc came in. Golispod tried to use First Impression, which is like Fake Out. It can only be used on the first turn for a bug type. But Among Us called that happening, protected, didn't take any damage. Lycanroc takes out the Avalugg there, and Nihilago's coming in. Marn is officially down 2 Pokemon.
Yeah, wow, Marn is the first to be down 2. Nihilago, a rock and poison type, which is one of those type combinations that I always have to stop and think a little bit about, just because it's one that you don't really expect. I look at that and go, all right, wait a minute, what is this one?
Let me do the calculations.
Yeah.
What does fighting do there again? What does psychic do now?
God, I don't actually know what fighting does on that one off the top of the dome.
I think it's neutral.
Yeah, I think you're right. I can never remember how poison interacts with that. Emergency exit is triggered on Galisapod in the same hit that gets Lycanroc down pretty low.
And Marn says, psych, I'm not looking at a Roserade anymore. Now it's Seismitoad's time to shine. Galisapod is looking for a Pokemon to swap for in Sam's back, and she gets to see what's happened right now. Ooh!
Oh my god!
Swaps into a Shiftry that is quadruple weak to that Amoongus's Pollen Puff.
That is a lot of damage.
Had no reason to think that Pollen Puff was going into that spot before it happened until it hits. Shiftry barely hung on there.
Until it hits. Shiftry barely hanging on. Lycanroc also in the red. Marn the first one to be down by 2, but looking pretty good right now defensively speaking. Both other Pokemon that she's revealed I would call pretty strong defensive threats. Above all else. Speaking of which,
fast gets in that rock slide, loses a little bit more to Life Orb. It's probably going down this turn. Well, maybe not.
It's at a.
We saw
3%.
a Rain Dance from Seismitoad and a Spore from Among Us. That Seismitoad's still up. Lycanroc is still up, surprisingly.
Ooh, oh, Seismitoad has just set something up that could put anyone else at a disadvantage because Sam sends out a Starmie, another water type that'll benefit from that Rain Dance just as much as Seismitoad does.
Now, Starmie's a pretty quick Pokemon. Lycanroc has been the fastest thing on the field so far, but is there a chance that Starmie outspeeds and takes out the Lycanroc now?
I want to say no, but I don't. I don't know that for sure. I also don't know if.
Now, Starmie doesn't have anything like Swift Swim or any of those abilities, which Seismitoad does. Seismitoad's asleep, but it's probably the fastest thing on the field right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm wondering if I'm allowed to hover over things when my feed is the one going in, but probably not.
Actually, I should say there's a chance that Seismitoad has Swift Swim. It's not guaranteed.
Yeah, it
and I don't know these Pokemon well enough to know what the default choice for is in Showdown.
I'm looking. Its possible abilities, according to Showdown, are Swift Swim, Poison Touch, or Water Absorb. Amogus is down to a Psyshock from the opposing Starmie.
Yeah. Seismitoad swaps out. Starmie says, I'm getting revenge for the last turn. Lycanroc tried to protect itself, but there was nothing to protect itself from.
No one. Yeah. Well, Lycanroc correctly presuming, that's what I would have done too, that it was the next target there. Super weak to 2 Pokemon on the field and at 3% of its HP. But Lopunny comes out from Ruby.
I was going to say, it looks like right now, Jeff Stormer, technically the only person that still has 5 Pokemon, but one of those Pokemon is on its last legs.
Yeah.
Another one's asleep. So it really feels like it could be anyone's game at this point.
It really does, because everyone who is down, because the other 3 players, Sam, Marn, and Ruby, all down 2. But I feel pretty good about how they have all performed today so far. It's really a little bit of a mind game. I'm really wondering. My guess is Starmie targets Nihilego almost, only because Lycanroc, Sam's in an interesting position because she can either go, all right, Nihilego's a big threat. Starmie has a super effective move against it. Starmie Dynamaxes. Lopunny goes
Lopunny fakes out the Nihilego and then gets finished off by that as Lycanroc hits the Lopunny and Lycanroc I was about to say survives another turn. It does not survive, but it gets out a huge blow in the end there.
That was an incredible play.
We see Starmie alone on an empty field. A giant starfish standing among the wreckage. What a turn.
What a turn. Sam and Ruby team up to take that thing down, to take that Nihilego down, truly. And Jeff even manages to continue to live longer than, that Lycanroc. Are we sure that's not a cat? Because it appears to have 9 lives. The 9th one has been spent now. But it's good either way.
Wow, Ruby down. Ruby and Marn are at half of their Pokemon eliminated. Sam and Jeff are currently, they've got a bunch left. A Lantern comes in from Jeff. Lantern is scary.
It is.
The thing with Lantern, it could have Volt Absorb, it could have Water Absorb.
Yeah.
There are 2 different types that it could be soaking up the attacks for, so it makes it very hard to attack into with those types.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at some possible abilities for these. Lantern, Volt Absorb, Water Absorb, or Illuminate, which I'm not sure offhand what that does, but Starmie is also capable of having it.
Now, I don't really know much about Spectrier here, but it is a ghost type, which is going to be scary for this Starmie.
Yes.
Starmie's probably going to be with an electric type and a ghost type on the field. Starmie's probably very happy to have double its HP right now.
What I need to remind myself is what Spectrier, because Spectrier is from the Sword and Shield DLC. It's one of the 2 horses you can choose. It's the one I chose, and I remember its ability, Grim Neigh, just powering up its own ghost-type moves a lot, I believe, which is bad news for Starmie. Mineshow one-shotted down. Starmie cannot be 2-shotted down.
Now, Starmie, takes, as I was saying, it's got a ghost move and a thunderbolt coming into itself, but it's still standing on one of its 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 legs.
I believe 10 of them total, because it's 5 and 5 at an angle. Palkia is here.
Wow, Marn does not have a lot left in the field, but she does have what is left is powerful at a Palkia.
Yeah, extremely. Palkia, and let's not forget that Seismitoad is still in reserve and has kind of just been this extra wall that's been very difficult to put in check, even when it was up against 3 grass types. Or when 3 grass types were on the field, rather.
Now, this format's interesting. The top 2 move on. So there is now. I don't think there's any like no one's really talking in chat about trying to make alliances or anything like that. But you do kind of have to wonder. It's like the old joke with the bear, you know? If you're getting chased by a bear, I don't have to outrun it. I just have to outrun the person next to me, right? You do kind of wonder if people say, we found someone weak, let's focus them down.
Yeah, absolutely. What is the approach there? One more Thunderbolt takes Starmie down. Palkia tries to take a shot at Spectrier, fails. Spectrier protects itself. A little bit of a surprise that I wouldn't expect from that moveset necessarily. Electric Terrain is up.
Sam is now officially down 3 Pokemon. Marn is down 4. Jeff is only down 2.
Incredible. Yeah, Jeff... Jeff has just had some stuff hang on longer than I ever would have expected. First with Vanillux and then with Lycanroc. And that lantern is something that no one really has a direct check for out on the field either.
Palkia is an interesting Pokemon. I feel like Water Dragon is a tough typing because they both kind of cover the weaknesses of the other pretty well. Dragon removes Water's weakness to, I want to say, electricity and grass. Dragon kind of removes, or Water removes Dragon's weakness to ice, I believe. So Palkia, pretty bulky. If there's any Pokemon you want to be stuck with as your last slot on the field, it can tank a couple hits. Now, I was gonna say, tanking hits hard in a format like this where you're potentially taking 3 hits every turn.
Absolutely. Yeah, so Palkia, the worst situation for Palkia right now is that lantern will do neutral damage to it because of that situation you were talking about. It's just Dynamax Lantern has. Let's see what it does.
3 different Pokemon attacking into Lantern, but it Dynamax this turn, tanks all 3 hits, and turns and takes out Sam's Golisopod.
Looks to
Sam
its
is
left.
now also down to 2 Pokemon left.
Just looks to its left. Bam! Down to the ground. Genesect comes out, replacing a good bug with a great bug. That's a Genesect with, it looks like, an Ice-type move loaded into its little back cannon there, if I were to take a guess.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing you could tell.
Yeah, the color of that little rectangle on its cannon on its back can be, I think, one of 5 different types.
Fascinating.
I think ice is one of them. If anyone in the chat knows for sure, let me know. I believe that is the case, though. Nasty plot from Spectrier. You hate to see it if you're anyone else besides Ruby. But you love to see it if you're Ruby. That's a U-turn from Genesect.
Dodges a Fire Blast there. Into a Marowak, which takes a hefty Ice Beam. Or Max Hailstorm with the chip taking it out. Sam is on her final Pokemon. Is Sam going to be the last person eliminated? She looked like she was so close to cinching things turns ago.
I think there's a reasonable chance that Sam will be the first one out here, which I would not, I would not have expected that just a few paltry turns ago. Genesect is back out. That download ability gives it an attack boost, which is nice. Shadow Ball takes out Palkia from that souped up Spectrier.
Takes out Palkia.
And that's what its ability does. I got it wrong before. When Spectrier takes out a Pokemon, it just gets a special attack boost because it's worth it. Lantern down but not out. Seismitoad back out but still asleep.
Spectrier used a Nasty Plot last turn. 2 turns ago, so it got that special attack boost. I don't believe Ruby's Dynamaxed yet. Do we think that this Ghost Horse might Dynamax just lock things up now that it's pumped up its stats? I want to say by 3 stages.
If it has, we're looking at 2.5 stages, I think. But you're right that the math does check out that way. If they do, that is an incredible amount of setup that Ruby has been able to pull off. Like that is a really great mind game of multi-turn setup. If not, hey, there's the big horse. I was about to say
there is a Max Darkness into Seismitoad, hanging on with 1% HP.
1%, and it's down from Lantern taking, or not from Lantern, from...
Marn and Sam are knocked out in the same turn.
In the same
meaning
breath.
That Jeff and Ruby are our winners.
Oh my
How
God.
could we leave Jeff untouched so long?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was...
fight.
I really feel like a big part of what happened there is that, at least on Marn's side, I feel like the amount of switching she did, putting that side of a toad out, kind of taunting the room with it, I feel like eventually drew a lot of targets her way. Boy, what a play that was. So now it just comes down to seeing who is the greater victor out of the two of them here.
Yeah, are we continuing the fight? Are we finishing things out? Is that how this is going?
I think it is. Let me double check that.
I want to make sure that people didn't just like exit the moment that it was out. Seeing in chat, I believe that we should finish the fight.
I agree
if
with
we
that.
can. I just want to make sure that people are still in the fight and that they haven't. Yeah, we're getting Halo Voice finish the fight.
Halo Voice finish the fight. So Halo Voice, Ruby and Jeff, please keep fighting if neither of you has left the match. Okay, Jeff sends out his own Amoongus, a second
Another
Amoongus.
Among Us. Now, of course, Ruby wants to continue the fight. They've got a super-powered horse that is giant right now. I'd want to finish that fight, too.
Absolutely. That Max Phantasm just ripping that Amoongus right back down to size. Jeff just has that Appleton and that I believe still asleep Arcanine to choose from. And there's that sleepy boy now. Meanwhile, Spectre has gotten another attack boost, or another special attack boost, rather.
Yeah, I think Jeff sends in Arcanine knowing that it's not long for the world. Spectrier, and will tank the final turn of Dynamax. So Spectrier's back down to a regular horse. Appleton comes out.
Oh,
It could be anyone's ball game.
It absolutely
It's probably
could.
not.
It absolutely could. I am commentating with you while also downloading an updated version of someone's promo I've been asked to utilize. There it is. Oh,
All right.
and the apple is down. Oh wait, no, it's not.
Jeff
I'm sorry.
says,
The dog is down.
yeah. Jeff says, please let me live. Spectrier says nay.
Nay.
And that is the end of this first matchup.
Oh,
What a fight.
Lows in the chat for everyone but Ruby. Oh, Ruby with two Pokemon still undisclosed. Two that we did not even get to see.
The
Incredible.
ultimate disrespect, just saying I still had these in the back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am going to roll us back to our starting screen here. Oh, wait, no, back to the Titantron, please, if you would do me so kindly, Mr. OBS, please, and thank you. Yeah, that was incredible. Ruby has disclosed to us in the Discord chat that one of their leftover Pokemon was a Salamence, so they were certainly packing even more heat on the back burner. Absolutely incredible. While we're waiting, God, that was really an interesting war of attrition. Sam was coming out so high for the first 2/3 of that match, and then she and Marn, boom, just within the same blink of an eye, eliminated.
Truly
Incredible.
just, I think that it was early on people saw, hey, Sam hasn't lost a Pokemon yet, and we're going to punish her for it. And then never retook stock and said, hey, wait a minute, who's the threat here? Because that horse got to just kind of sit and pick off a Pokemon here and pick off a Pokemon there. And before it was too late, running rampant.
Absolutely. Good Lord. Well, wait, that was our first 1v1v1v1, and I have to say it's immediately gone exactly as well as I could have hoped for. Good Lord. We can go right ahead to our next ones. We have, next up on the other half of this, we have Mac, we have Floor, we have L and Wheels. It's really giving me some flashbacks to the moon landing stream where it really came down to Andrew, you versus a lot of people who were not core members of the network. It was really a case of a bunch of our friends from outside of the network coming in and teaching us how to play video games because we don't know.
That's one of the things I really like about these streams is that it's not just the same folks every time,
Absolutely.
If you're listening and you're in the free-for-all number 2, we do need your link.
Yeah, I have posted that in the Discord chat, and I'm hoping one of them gets me that shortly. In the meantime, I've got some more promos to play. I've got promos from, I think all 4 of our friends here have given us promos for this.
I am excited to see him.
All right, well, I have bad news about the first one. Mac does not do seeing, Mac does hearing.
That's fair.
Mac does purely audio-engineered promos.
This is why I threw my match against Mac. I wanted to hear another beat.
Yeah, so Andrew, I have one question, and that's, has this ever happened to you? Oh, that's still Sam.
Hey everyone, Mac again. We've got the back half of the tournament today. So for that, I've prepared something really special.
Ooh.
Oh no. This song still goes though.
It does. Listen, it's a good song.
LOL. LMAO.
Andrew, has this ever happened to you?
Lalamau indeed.
Lalamau indeed. A promo so spicy and hot that I had to turn on my AC. Truly good stuff. I really appreciate the dedication to the point. We've been rickrolled on our own stream, Andrew. I feel like we're going to have to pass a law against this in the future. This has to be a precedent of some kind.
Yeah. I appreciate it in there. I also do appreciate Max saying if I can't win this tournament, I will get this tournament DMCA'd and taken down. I will take it down one way or another.
I did have that thought last night when Wheels gave us the Wendy's training video, and I really had to think long and hard about whether that was something that the Wendy's lawyers would be ready to stand up for. Is this hot drinks training video from the 90s? I have a promo from Floor, which I was sent a last-minute second version of, so Floor's coming in hot with this one. The first version they sent me in the opening moments of this stream, and the second version they sent me in the half an hour in of this stream. So, here is Floor gracing us with their presence once again. They did tell me that they couldn't get the sound working on this, actually, so I believe this is supposed to be silent. Oh, I'm Mr. Incredible. Here I am in my Mr. Incredible chair. This chair is incredible.
I love this song.
I wish I knew how to type. Oh, okay, there is audio.
Oh, good.
All right. That was some powerful stuff. That was
incredible.
Really powerful. I think it was implied that Floor killed Cynthia in there. I read those as homicides, not defeats.
I believe also the entire country of France. Did I read that correctly?
I think you did, and frankly, I think there was a Catboy Raiden from Metal Gear Rising. A lot of things came before my eyes, so much so that I think I had other ones I wanted to say, but then they were immediately pushed out by the next one to come along.
Yeah, well, F's in the chat for France. Do we want to get into the next promo?
Yes, we do. I've got one from L. Give me one moment to cue it up here. That one was truly something. Here is L.
Oh no.
I want to say, I thought about using this in my promo if I made it past day one, using Dale. Yeah. This feels like a Monument Mythos video. So what I
I hate that noise.
yeah, I don't. That felt like it was like the Minecraft running water sound. I don't know if that's correct, but that is definitely what it felt like. Yeah. What I like about that one is like like that was incredible storytelling using limited resources in a way that I truly respect. If I thought of it too late, but what I'd want to do was do a Dale mini generation of Andrew Sherman for my promo about you. I didn't think of it until the last minute. Well, I didn't do it. I didn't think of it until the last minute, or because I have the 2 photos of you in my promo that showed up. That's what I would have done if I had thought about it sooner. But I'm really glad someone incorporated Dale into a promo. That's very of the moment. Speaking of things not of the moment, Wheel sent in a promo, and if you liked her promo yesterday, which was a 90s Wendy's commercial, you'll like this, which is a relic. Yeah, I'm just gonna play it. Or the first minute of it, as I believe I have been directed.
Oh.
We are cats, and that is that. No deep meanings, truths, or facts. Read into this what you will. Don't blame me if you feel ill.
Wheels, you doing okay?
Alright, I'm gonna... It just kind of goes on like that. We're gonna cut it there. I do want to thank Wheels for that one. That is a hot meme, not even really a meme, more of a thing discovered long ago on the internet. I have a very strong memory of Wheels or Carly sharing that around very early on, and me knowing both of them. That is from a lovely YouTube channel called Mad Cat Lady, I believe. If you want to see more things like that, you can.
Yeah, good news, Chris. It already is. Well, good. I'm glad. Last match we kind of went into with the energy of Marn yelling, "I'll fuck your wife." And this match we're coming into with the energy of whatever the fuck that was. So
whatever the fuck that was, truly.
What do you say we get into our next match?
Yeah, I am moving us over to the sort of entry cam here. What we've got going on here is another pretty fascinating situation where Wheels and Floor have the Sun and Moon best Pokemon in the game corner, while Elle and Manic just have some like competitive MVPs in it to win it as we sort of start things off here.
I do love a good Palisand. I'm going to give a good ding 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 in the chat.
Yes, I have just done that myself, actually, as you were saying that, so we can get going off to the races.
I was about to say this is another situation where people are well matched against each other, but that's not actually a Pikachu. They've had time to think about these as they watched a cat video. 2 swaps, a Protect, and a failed Scald.
A swap to Delmise, which is a one of my favorite Sun and Moon Pokemon. A lot of Sun and Moon representation happening out here. Has Anchor Shot, or I'm sorry, not Anchor Shot. What's the name of the ability? It's a Ghost and Grass type.
Worker.
It's a Ghost and Grass type that also gets Stab on Steel moves, is essentially what that has going on. A great advantage to have against that Shiinotic, which Manic has swapped out Dialga for. Swapping out Dialga is not a move I would have necessarily hedged my bets on.
You know, it's such a powerful Pokemon. I feel like kind of hedging a bet and saying, I actually want this for later. I think that might be a smart call. Just saying, you know what? Hey, can you remove random duos from the stream overlay? I'm just now realizing is there.
I sure can.
Because this is, I don't want to confuse people, because this is 1v1v1v1.
Thank you.
We get a swap into a Duraludon, a Power Whip into Delmise, doesn't do a lot of damage, and then Palisand firing off a Shadow Ball at Delmise to deal a lot of damage that gets a good chunk of it healed back up with a Citrus Berry.
Absolutely. There is our 1v1v1v1. I had something in the chat I want to respond to, and now I can't find it. Someone said, don't forget the Palisand's a ghost type now. It always has been, actually. Palisand is a grass ghost. Duraludon is a great defensive wall to throw up here.
Yeah, I love Palisand. I love its ability Water Compaction, which I think whenever it gets hit by a water move, its defense is raised by 2 stages.
Yes.
A really good move. Unfortunately, it is weak to water, so it comes with a bit of a struggle for that payoff, but it is a cool ability.
Ziggy, to answer your question in the chat, it is free for all, as Marn has already answered, which I now read because I can read. Yeah, it's again 1v1v1v1 as we get through these rounds here. Delmise is down.
Fleur protects again as Duraludon takes out Delmise, and Shiinotic fires off an energy ball into the protected Palisand. This Palisand has been around for 3 turns. 2 of those turns have been spent protecting.
Delmise going down really reminding me of my own days. I dropped off competitive in Sun and Moon after EV training a team based around a Delmise because that 3rd stab type is very cool, and then learning that it does not have the defenses or HP to back that up in the slightest. Wheels sends out Emolga. It sure doesn't. Wheels gets a second sort of mouse-based Pokemon in Emolga out on the field. Speedy little guy, probably has Volt Switch if I were to take a guess, which will make it a great, just damage and get out fast tactical decision.
Yeah, Emolga gets to pivot around in interesting ways.
Yeah, can have static or motor drive. Static, which will paralyze upon contact if that is the ability that it has. A lot of HP changing hands right there.
Wow, okay. We had an Acrobatics and a Shadow Ball into the Shiinotic. We had a bunch of berry eating. Actually, 3 Pokemon ate a berry this turn. We had, 2 Pokemon. 1 ate last turn. Duraludon ate a berry, and I believe so did Palisand?
I believe so. Well, yeah, I believe so. And then, yes, Shiinotic spored Palisand to sleep. Incredible. In the Showdown chat, we have from Fleur a Manic I just want to talk, which is very funny.
Palisand sleeping. Now, see, here's the deal. Fleur's kind of been using Palisand as a stall. Do we think that they swap Palisand out, or do we think that they kind of leave it in and say, you know what, I'm not fighting sleep. Let's just go ahead and let things happen.
I think this would be the turn
Mimikyu swaps out. Dialga swaps
in. Palisand stays in and gets taken down for their trouble.
It looks like Palisand tried to wake up and use Protect, but instead it just went very quickly and protected itself, and stayed asleep as Duraludon's Flash Cannon finished it off. Finishes it off as Wheels and Manic both swap in new Pokemon. Wheels and Fleur now down a Pokemon each. Manic and L still at full.
Manic and L at full, 2 revealed for each of those. Each one has done a little bit of switching. The amount of switch game going on is always something to watch. Blissey comes out from Fleur, an enormous HP tank. Notorious back in the Diamond and Pearl days, and I'm sure still just as tanky as she's ever been.
I was about to say, a perfect Pokemon here against these 2 dragons. I always forget that Blissey isn't a fairy type. It's just pink.
Yeah, interesting. Manic and L, 2 Steel and Dragons. Exact same typing between the 2 of them. Blissey could have a fairy move very easily. I learned when I was playing Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl that Blissey has a great, as a lot of normal types do, a great sort of neutral move pool of cover moves. Mimikyu gets his disguise knocked off. Blissey goes for a Thunder Wave and paralyzes it.
Mimikyu gets his disguise knocked off. Dialga tries to Thunder Wave Duraludon, but fails. Blissey says, don't worry, I can also Thunder Wave, but it targets the Mimikyu this time.
Well, right after the Mimikyu, too, Wheels goes for that classic Swords Dance combo, which is Mimikyu, that disguise move, basically bodies a hit, takes no damage. Swords Dance Mimikyu has been one of the most destructive things in the game since Sun and Moon. However, it's dead now.
Wow.
Don't even worry about it.
Mimikyu Dynamaxed into dying to a critical hit Flash Cannon.
Puts the die in Dynamax.
Wheels has lost their Dynamax
immediately
in a single turn immediately.
It wasn't even a tactical decision to take it down. It just happened that way. Meanwhile, Dialga has successfully paralyzed L's Duraludon, so that thing now has some slower going.
Blissey using Seismic Toss. It seems a little silly that Blissey's using Seismic Toss, but it doesn't have very good attack stats. It does damage equal to its level. Probably doesn't have any other moves that could deal 86 damage, so a Seismic Toss surprisingly effective from Blissey.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess Blissey has a lot of wall moves, maybe a protect, something healing, so that's probably its only offensive option, or at least it's not unlikely.
We've seen a Thunder Wave.
Yeah, we've seen Thunder Wave. You're right. I was just scrolling through the feed here. A lot of great crosstalk going on in the Showdown window chat. Floor says, go and Wheels says same hat. So really everyone's feeling like an amalgamation of consonants right now. Duraludon gets swapped out for Blaziken. Okay.
Yeah, they're swapping out the Pokemon that has knocked out 3 Pokemon so far. Duraludon has been 100% lethal in this fight. Swapping out for a Blaziken. Dialga takes an Earth Power. Dialga uses Thunder Wave onto... Okay. Manic's Dialga uses Thunder Wave onto Wheels' Dialga. And Blissey fires off another Seismic Toss.
Chipping away at it.
Now, interesting to note here, Blaziken at the end of the turn did not gain speed back, which means that I believe that this Blaziken is a Blaziken, not speed boost.
Ooh, which is a loss, but still, it does close combat one-shot that Dialga from Wheels down. Oh, no, speed
never
boost
mind.
is here.
There it is.
Okay, yeah, it's upon knockout, I believe, and so that'll do it.
Maybe it lost speed somewhere before? I'm not sure, but all I do know, Blaziken is now faster, hits just as tough. It's going to take a hit just as hard, but...
Yeah, it is down a lot of health, but it has that speed boost, so it's almost guaranteed one more hit before it goes out, probably at the hands of Floor's Musharna.
Now, L is currently 4 for 4 on knockouts.
Yeah, really. Wheels is getting torn down to size. Floor's taking a hit. Mac and L still completely untouched in terms of getting downed. Wheels sends out Basculin. I hope they have a plan. I don't know if I can say that I would in their shoes.
Do you think that the players now, do you think that they're turning on Wheels to say, there's blood in the water, we can at least make sure that we're not in last place? Or do you think that players are still treating this as the 4v4, or as, the 1v1v1v1?
If I'm being honest, I think everyone's pissed at Wheels for showing us the meow meow I'm a cat video. That's my real answer.
That's fair.
Blaziken downed. That Blaziken doesn't actually get that speed boosted last hit out. Musharna protects. It's the Basculin that takes it down. Dialga tries to... Everyone was going for that Blaziken, I want to point out. Pikachu with a hat comes out. Hello, my friend.
Dialga used Earth Power, but it failed.
Because Blaziken was already down at that point. Dialga was also targeting Blaziken.
Oh, does it not... Is there no redirect here?
I don't think so. I think it's just you choose your target, and if it doesn't hit, doesn't hit.
Yeah, important note, chat does point out, this Pikachu does have a hat.
It does!
This is the third Pikachu-based Pokemon we've seen today. The first one that actually is a Pikachu.
Oh, you're right, because we had the Emolga. What was the other one we had?
We had the Mimikyu.
You're right, we had a Mimikyu. You're absolutely right. It's been a big game. Stakataka comes out from Wheels, immediately takes a Draco Meteor from Dialga, Psychic from Musharna cuts across to Pikachu. No one gets down, but everyone gets hurt.
Yeah, it looks like Dialga and Pikachu are on the Let's Destroy Wheels plan. Musharna firing off a move into just another spot, so it seems like there might be some sides being formed. And Manic is still sitting... Manic's sitting at a full set of Pokemon. Their Dialga is weakened, but, you kind of wonder at this... Well, I was about to say, you wonder at this point if they just say, you know what, we're leaving it, or if they're going to change things out. They swap to Shiinotic. Shiinotic takes the hit and goes down, giving them a free swap in. If they bring in Dialga, that Dialga's back at 100%.
It is.
Not HP, not at HP, but it's stats.
But it's stats, which honestly is a great gamble at this point. It does have very low HP, but even just wiping that slate clean ain't bad. Gastrodon comes back out. I don't know if we know what Gastrodon's ability is. It can have Storm Drain or Sand Force. So if for whatever reason anyone Dynamaxes and sets up a rain or sand situation, Gastrodon is going to thrive in it.
Well, there's a weird situation here. If someone other than Gastrodon Dynamaxed and tried to set up Rain, I believe it would fail if it has Storm Drain. Just because it would absorb the water move.
Well, if Gastrodon was attacked, yeah. Well, yeah, no, you're right. Sorry, that was me forgetting how Storm Drain worked.
Yeah, Storm Drain's just if it's on the field, it'll redirect it. It's like Lightning Rod, I think.
Got it. Okay, sorry, I thought it was weather-based for some reason. I'm wrong.
No, there's Storm Drain, and then there's
It's okay.
Water Absorb.
There it is.
Just okay. Only if it's a single target move. Correct.
Yeah. Okay. That's what we're working with. So Surf can't really factor in. Basculin is back in. Manic sends out Tangrowth after Dialga gets downed and Stakataka gets downed.
Tangrowth on a field with a regular water type and a water ground type, this could be a place where Tangrowth thrives.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of Tangrowth stat-wise. I know it can have Leaf Guard, it can have Regenerator, it can have Clefairy. I think it's a pretty bulky, pure grass type, much like a Meganium. Yeah, it's in a really good position here. What's really the question is who's going to switch out. I think L is in a great position to if they are feeling skittish.
Now, we're just to double check in on the scores. Flora's lost a Pokemon. L and Manic have lost 2. Wheels is down 4. That Dynamax Tangrowth gets a helping hand?
A helping hand from
on.
Musharna!
Musharna helping hands the Tangrowth to make sure it does extra damage.
Behind Manic! Holy God! What a genius play. I don't use the word likely, but that is really assessing the situation and going, I know I am not the target here. I am going to use that to my advantage.
Incredible play.
Awesome play.
Made the helping hand without knowing that Tangrowth was even going to Dynamax. By chat points this out. By choosing peace, Musharna has chosen violence.
Absolutely. And when you look at that motherfucker, that is the kind of shit that Musharna looks capable of, just when you look at that thing.
You know, I think that you look at Musharna and you say, I can't do as much damage to a Pokemon as I can if I just clap for Tangrowth. Basculin's out, swapping to a Mulga. It does not want to take any kind of doubled thing.
No.
Duraludon fires off a Thunderbolt into a Mulga, activating Motor Drive.
Bad gamble there.
Has risen.
Yep, bad gamble there. Not that L could have known. I wouldn't have even necessarily guessed that a Mulga would have that if I hadn't checked that it would have that ability, because that's not one you'd necessarily think of.
And Musharna protected that turn.
Yep, Musharna protected. Duraludon still has that paralysis dangling off it. Still at half health, but again, it is just Steel Dragon. What a defensive typing, and creating a second Pokemon with that typing. Truly an act of war by the Pokemon Company and Game Freak. Tangrowth goes for a max overgrowth on Emolga.
Another helping hand into Tangrowth. Emolga takes a hit from a very boosted grass move, as Tangrowth also takes a hit and eats a berry. I'm going to say, I don't know, how does eating a citrus berry interact with Dynamax? If you eat a citrus berry while you are big, do you get all of that HP? Or does it just check your regular HP stat?
I would guess it probably, because it's a flat number of hit points, it's not a percentage that you get back. My assumption would be that it does the math of what the amount gained back would be if the Pokemon was not Dynamaxed, and then reflect that onto the Dynamaxed HP.
It counts your normal max, okay.
Yeah, I that would be my guess. I do not know. Ziggy confirms that in the chat, thank you.
Yeah, wow, we've got a tough field here. Flora's only lost 1 Pokemon as they sit supporting. Flora seems like they're just kind of hanging out in the back and being like, you know what? You all duke this one out. I'm going to hang out here. As everyone else is just battling away. Musharna using Protect again. Acrobatics not working. Focus Blast into Duraludon. Duraludon's going down this turn. L has now lost 4 Pokemon, same as Wheels. Manic is down 2, and Flora's down 1.
Flora's only down 1. Yeah.
Supposed to be a 1v1v1v1, but it feels a little more complicated than that at this point.
It really does. The question to me at this point is that Floor has paid a lot of favors over to Manic. At what point will Manic then betray? Who will betray who between Floor and Manic? And at what point will the betrayal occur? It can't be long now.
What I would love to see is a helping hand into Tangrowth, who then hits Masharna with a helping-handed move.
That is the dream. Galarian Rapidash from L, a psychic fairy, as we like to call it, the new firefighting, just because it feels like a similar level of dangerous prevalence. Really curious what Rapidash can do. Does sometimes have the ground type drill run. I don't know if this one does, but I've seen that run a lot. That won't hit Emolga, obviously, because it's flying, but just an extra thing it might have in its corner. Not really sure what to expect from this horse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
helping hand
does
onto the Rapidash.
Emolga helping hands. Wheels looks
a
across
double
the
helping
floor.
hand
Oh
into
my
Rapidash.
God. And
who then uses a Zen headbutt and gets put to sleep.
Musharna, so it's exactly what you said, where Musharna helps something kill it. Not the Pokemon either of us expected to happen there. Tangrowth did not get a helping hand.
This feels like Wheels saying, look, if we're getting out of this alive, we need to help each other.
This match
You've got the attack
rules.
stats to deal some damage. I have a fish in the back.
This match kicks ass. That's my official opinion as a commentator. Rapidash put to sleep by Tangrowth also happened there in the midst of all of that.
I want to say Floor in the chat saying, Wheels, what are we?
What are we?
A Moonblast into Tangrowth, followed by a miss on a Power Whip.
A miss on a move that would not have been effective against Emolga if it bothered to hit the dang thing. Clefable has been taunted.
Yeah, it taunts the Clefable. Clefable usually here to be a supporting Pokemon, but now it's nerf or nothing. You got to start swinging.
We know Clefable has Moonblast, so we know it at least has a little bit of nerf. Tangrowth goes down. Emolga goes down. Both after what feels like 1 million years. Wheels down to a single fish. Wheels is down to a single fish.
Finishes off the Tangrowth. Gets the biggest threat to the Basculin off the field, but that is a bit relative and... Well, there's another threat. Clefable says, oh, you're going to taunt me? Fine, I'll attack you then.
It's not an amazing position to do that if it is just going to keep Moonblasting. If it hits that Toxtricity, that ain't going to do much. Toxtricity could take it out pretty fast unless it gets switched out to Blissey. Tries to go for the Basculin. Volt Switch out. Incredible choice there. Quillfish comes in, your little guy. One of your little guys, Andrew.
Definitely one of my little guys. Intimidate. Basculin uses Psychic Fangs and dies to its own Life Orb. F's in the chat for Wheels. Wheels is officially out of this game.
Wheels is out. Wheels extremely well played. Some GG's in the chat. Chris in the chat says this matchup has succession levels of complicated relationships. Blissey cranks off a Toxic on Uxie. Quillfish protects, but no one's even looking at it.
Jay, I know we've been talking about a lot of things today. I don't need you to tell me about Blissey cranking off here.
Not the phrasing I meant, but it's the phrasing I found.
We've got a very defensive field.
Yeah.
Uxie's a support Pokemon. Blissey's a support Pokemon. Quillfish, a support Pokemon. Everyone here is looking to kind of like play the field, set things into positions that they want it to be in, and then go from here.
Dynamax Uxie.
Uxie.
I was just about to say, I would guess Uxie would switch out if anyone right now. I was wrong.
Quillfish sending out Toxic Spikes.
Yeah.
It looks like Toxic Spikes onto L's side. Is it onto both sides of the field? It looks like to both sides of the field.
I wasn't sure how that would span out, but yeah, that does look like both L and Floor are getting hit by that. Wheels' Pokemon trainer avatar is inexplicably changed. That's what happens when you die. Uxie goes to max guard. Quillfish goes to protect. Everyone is worried about getting hit.
Yeah. What a set of turns. Now, Floor still has not Dynamaxed. And Floor's in a position where they've got a Clefable, they've got a Blissey. Two of the strongest special walls in the game.
And then two Pokemon we haven't even seen. I think that was the main target when those Toxic Spikes got thrown out for sure.
So on Manic's side of the field, we've got a Toxtricity that's not going to do a great job of pumping through those. I'm pretty sure Toxtricity is a special Pokemon. Quillfish isn't really much of an attacker. And, you know, Rapidash, that can hit, but it's a fairy type. That's not going to do a lot of damage to these guys.
It's fairy type and fairly frail anyway, if my experience using one in-game in Sword and Shield is anything to go by. Uxie loses the Dynamax. Blissey has Soft Boiled, getting that HP back, no problem. Boy.
This really feels it. If I had to call it right now, this really feels like Fleur has locked up a spot in this next game.
I would be... something absurd has to happen for that not to happen. Quillfish playing really defensive. I really wonder if that is a tactical move from Manic, or if they feel backed into a corner in some way by having chosen it and not wanting to switch out and risk one of their other Pokemon getting one-shotted upon entering the door.
Well, so if you're in Manic's shoes, I mean, what's your idea here? You send out Toxic Spikes. You know that your opponent's Pokemon are going to come in be poisoned.
Oof.
If that's the case, it's kind of on you just to stall out that last Pokemon, right?
Oh, yeah, I think it is, but unfortunately, Seismic Toss takes Quillfish out. Uxie manages to do a Thunder Wave. Oh, Thunder Wave to the Quillfish, so it doesn't even matter. Uxie also gets downed by its own poison. Manic and L both have new things to throw out. That Rapidash is, of course, immediately going to get poisoned. The weirdness has disappeared from the battlefield.
Mantine and Rapidash. Now, Rapidash is still asleep. Rapidash is asleep, so it does not get poisoned.
Oh,
If that was a Manic's plan, Rapidash is not going to be stalled out. If you're L, you're hoping that this Rapidash wakes up and then can start hitting as hard as it can.
Oh my god. Mantine goes for a Scald on Rapidash. That burn wouldn't even
and
pop
now
off.
Mantine is toxic by Blissey.
Mantine is poisoned. Blissey doesn't care.
Blissey's just kind of hanging out. It seems like this match has devolved into L and Manic duking it out. And Fleur's sitting on the sidelines kind of saying, do I even want to get involved?
Rapidash wakes up, goes for a Zen Headbutt on the Mantine.
Zen Headbutt.
I think you're
Mantine
right.
misses a Hurricane.
Oh. Both Manic and L both going, well, if I can't be first, I need to be second, and really just duking it out while Blissey just does whatever it wants.
We see Manic in the chat saying, at 2 Fleur, we're both crabs together. How could you do this to me? Rapidash takes a Hurricane, eats a berry, a Seismic Toss on the Rapidash, Mantine goes down.
Poisoned down! Manic has one more,
Now,
Toxtricity is out.
I guess for L, the real question is, can Rapidash take out this Toxtricity in one shot?
That is the question. I worry about the answer. It's maybe. I'll be honest. Ooh, and that's a no.
Toxtricity hits Overdrive. The answer is no. I didn't think it'd be fast enough, but here we go.
Goddamn. Toxtricity is surprisingly fast. Toxtricity is truly clutch. Now it comes down to how much of a fight can this Toxtricity put up before Blissey just makes it die of old age. Eventually, Toxtricity will age out of the music it loves to listen to so well, just because this Blissey will not let it win or lose. Blissey switches out. Celebi is it.
What a team on Fleur's side of the field.
Incredible. This is fascinating.
Fleur doing the honorable thing, swapping Pokemon around so that we get to see what all is in the back.
Showing off. Just truly showing off.
These are exactly homie swaps I'm seeing in the chat.
Swaps, we love
and
to see
Dynamaxing it. Because I can.
Because you can.
Finishing off Toxtricity with a Max Quake.
That was awesome. I can't be anything professional about it. That was awesome. I am continually hitting the wrong thing on OBS. Back to the Titantron we go. Everyone, incredible match. Oh my gosh.
What a match. That, you know, we booked it as a 1v1v1v1.
Yeah.
It really felt like a 1v1v1 with a puppet master pulling the strings from behind.
It truly did. That was truly something. Wow. Yeah, just the all eyes on wheels. I would love to hear from the other 3 players how that did everyone just have the same thought of going for wheels? Was it revenge for the cat video? Like, sincerely though, how did that come to pass? And then just, yeah, Fleur's ability to tank with that Blissey as far as the day is long. Really, really impressive stuff.
Now, Jay, I've got a question for you. Did you see that there is a link to the next match in the chat, and a new promo video.
A new promo from Jeff. I did download it. I'm going to have it up in just a moment. I am going to queue up the next match first just so I have it ready. But yeah, Jeff has sent us one more promo, yes.
Can you send me or can you pull up the video and I will explain what we are looking at to the people on the field, because this is a complicated format.
Do you want me to do that before the promo or after?
You know what? Go ahead and pull it up now, and as you get the promo stuff ready.
Okay, I have the promo ready. I have it right here.
Then
I can switch over real quick first, though. That's fine. That's not a problem.
Yeah, pull it over. I'll explain, and then we will get into promo and then match.
Okay. Oh, let me switch to the correct match real quick, because immediately some fascinating stuff going on. You're absolutely right. Let me just switch us to the correct match here. Okay. Boom. We should be transitioning now over to the first round of Fusion Frenzy, my favorite mode, my single favorite mode that Martin and I tested. You want to talk about this a little bit here?
Sure. So what we are looking at here, on the left, we have Jeff Stormer's Pokemon. Jeff Stormer's Pokemon is a Volcanion that is fused with a Rapidash. That's why its sprite is Volcanion, but it's... hey, stop looking at the shiny Delmise. Look at the Pokemon. Look at me. Look at me. Your teacher's talking.
Look at us. Hey.
Hey. Class. We're not having class outside again if you don't pay attention. So this is a pure fire type because Rapidash and Volcanion are both fire type Pokemon. It has water absorb. Well, I shouldn't say that out loud. I apologize. And it has some abilities it could possibly have. Meanwhile, the Pokemon on the other side is a Whiscash fused with a Delmise. So you got to look at the name, you got to look at the Pokemon. Those are the two Pokemon it is. It is listed what the types are, but the moves that they have come from a mix between both Pokemon. Correct?
Yes, that is correct. I don't know if this will be the case here, but we also ran into some stuff when me and Martin were testing this, and I believe Riley was watching this with us, where the types that a Pokemon is listed as being in the player's party does not always match up with what the actual fused type is. You have to look at the Pokemon name and icon. So, for example, if you have something that appears as a Tapu Bulu and is named Fearow, you don't know for sure if that's normal fairy or grass flying or what exactly the combination is, what exactly the arithmetic is there, until you send it out.
Till they send it out. Okay,
I believe that's the case, if I remember correctly. If either Jeff or Ruby want to correct me on that, they may, but I believe that is the case.
All right, well then go ahead.
No, I'm going to move us back for a second over to the Jumbotron zone so we can take a look at one last promo from Jeff here. Let me get that
Sounds
going.
Great.
Bada bing.
I'm Jeff Stormer, and I host Party of One, an actual play podcast focused on two-player role-playing experiences. Every week, I sit down with a friend.
J.R. Goldberg.
Cut the mics.
A.k.a. Wormtooth, formerly MC Blackwolf.
Danny Costello.
My name's Rich Howard.
I'm Sharon Biswas.
We play a two-player role-playing game. We share some laughs.
An absolute blast to play.
It was a delight to run my game with someone who got so into it.
It was so easy to do.
Seeing the creativity just blossom right in front of my eyes.
Maybe a few tears.
I've never had a game make me question my previously staunch moral compass.
Jeff makes the greatest serial killer.
And we have a really good time.
It's a great way to take a chance on a new role-playing game.
Truly exemplifies what is wonderful about a game with just two people driving the narrative together.
You can find new episodes every Tuesday at partyofonepodcast.com.
Jeff, you couldn't go for a 30 seconds. You had to stretch for a full minute. I would like to nominate Jeff as having the same name here officially as on your podcast and refer to him as enemy of the second ever Pokemon Showdown Jeff Stormer.
Absolutely, yeah. If there's something that we can do, Jeff will be the enemy.
Absolutely.
Of it.
Absolutely. I'm going to roll us over to that very enemy versus Ruby. I'm going to give them their little ding and ding and ding. What else can I say about this as we're waiting for them to get started? I found this mode immediately fascinating. It's one of two that shuffles types around a lot that are just really interesting because it prompts you to constantly be on watch for what your Pokemon can actually do in a way that wouldn't be the case otherwise. Jeff immediately switches out to a Melmetal Spiritomb.
Wow, swaps out into an Earthquake. Unfortunately, that Melmetal is a Steel type, so it's going to take a lot of damage. How are we referring to these Pokemon? Are we going to call them by their listed name?
I just said Melmetal Spiritomb, and then we have Whiscash Dhelmise. I'm just sort of saying both of them. Do what you want. We can all probably read and look at things. Whiscash Dhelmise Earthquakes that thing out in no time like it's going out of style.
Not before Melmetal can get in a Sucker Punch just to deal a good chunk of damage off.
Oh, another shiny has entered the fray.
Another shiny.
Another Quillfish as well. It seems, Andrew, it seems that Swordlord has entered the battle.
Swordlord is a Steel, Poison, Ghost. What's cool for Ghost Water type apparently.
My little cousin,
back, Swordlord.
My little cousin was so wrong about that typing. Guessed 5 types, only got one of them right. Yeah, no, that shiny Quillfish. Whoa, and then it's immediately switched back out to that
Rapidash, which eats another Earthquake. Now, this Whiscash has a Life Orb attached, which means it deals some extra. It takes some extra damage every time it attacks, but
it does.
It's worth it. It's used it to kill 2 Pokemon, right?
It has, and then we get a Rock Fire, Magmortar, Tyrantrum, Fire Blast cannons out that Whiscash Dhelmise. I take back what I said about Dhelmise earlier, even though I'm right. In this scenario, that Dhelmise actually did a lot of work for Ruby.
Yeah, what a powerful start for Ruby. We get a Claydol Sandaconda.
Yeah.
Looks like this thing's a ground type now.
I think it picked the ground type from both the Pokemon, because Claydol, of course, ground and psychic. It just picked the ground from both and just gave it regular Sandaconda.
Now, this is a fascinating format. I know that Jeff is not super deep into Pokemon. I wonder if he knows exactly how these Pokemon could fuse together.
Ooh, that Rock Fire opens up for that 4 times strong Earthquake. Jeff doesn't know to switch out away from it. Sends out a Psychic Ghost Palisand Sigilith. If only that thing had flying, it would really give him an advantage here. It's still fine. Not immediately doomed, but missing an advantage it could have gotten.
Yeah, a Palisand. Now, this thing could have my favorite ability, Water Compaction.
I was actually about to say, I was looking at it, and it seems pretty unilaterally that all of the abilities come from the Pokemon whose sprite is being used. So that Palisand Sigilith can have Wonderskin, Magic Guard, and Tinted Lens, which are Sigilith's abilities. Claydol can have Sandspit, Shedskin, or Sandvel, because those are Sandacondas. Or it can die from a Shadow Ball. Goodbye, Claydol Sandaconda.
Okay, I'm going to read this out loud. Someone posted in the chat, I believe Floor posted.
Thank you.
By naming your Pokemon after another Pokemon, it gains their first ability as an additional ability.
Oh.
Their stats get averaged, and its secondary type is taken from their primary or secondary type, depending on whether it is shiny.
Oh!
Movesets are pooled.
That's fascinating. Okay, I had no idea that the shiny had anything to do with this.
I didn't either. It looks like while we were reading that, even though it was paralyzed, this Palisand was able to fire off a Shadow Ball, take out that Claydol. This Exploud Uxie, a Psychic Normal type, is using U-Turn. So Ruby's trying to predict what Dynamax move this Palisand Sigilith could use and figure out what the best Pokemon to swap in is. But wow, how do you even pick?
Ooh,
this is a shiny Volcanion Drampa.
Okay. So shiny,
it is a normal water type.
Normal water. That is when me and Martin tested this. My first Pokemon I got was a Buffalant Barraskewda, which was normal water. It's an interesting one to have to deal with.
Normally, I'd be very sad if my Pokemon ended up a normal water type, but here it's perfect because it is immune to the Max Phantasm that Palisand tries to fire off. Unfortunately, it also fires off a Hyper Voice, which Palisand is immune to, and Palisand is paralyzed. We've just wasted a turn.
We've just completely wasted a turn. Palisand goes for Max Guard. Thunderbolt hits it, doesn't really do a dang thing.
We've checked this Volcanion knows Hyper Voice and Thunderbolt. Drampa's already a Pokemon that has so much in the way of coverage moves that it's so hard to know what you even have to play around here.
Truly. Palisand goes for Shore Up, which is definitely a Palisand move just based on the name, and gets some HP back. Switches out.
We are back to Sword Lord, who takes a Steam Eruption, a water move that deals a lot of damage to this Quillfish.
I want to point out, we've had a Volcanion. Sorry if you said this and I glazed over it, but we have had a part Volcanion from both players here.
Yeah,
Sword Lord is back, gets that Black Sludge HP back because it is Steel and Poison, a great typing, I think.
Wow, how about it would be if you did not gain the Poison typing, but you gained the Black Sludge, so
Really,
you lose HP every turn.
Really a extremely fortunate situation.
This Quillfish knows it's going down, fires off a Toxic to kind of stall out this Volcanion. Dealing some damage every turn.
Poltegeist Terrakion comes out. That's a Rock Ghost.
A Rock Ghost, a Haunted Tomb.
That is going to have Justified. Boy,
Oh
what does
no,
that do?
Poltegeist misses a Stone Edge and gets hit with that Steam Eruption. Jeff has been on the back foot for a couple Pokemon here.
Yeah.
I think I think that Jeff has grown an additional foot to be on the back of.
I think you're right.
It seems Ruby swapped over to a double Ultra Beast.
Matching
Kartana
Ultra Beast too.
Celesteela.
Those are version exclusives from Sun and Moon, if I recall correctly, fused together. Hitting that Max Darkness, blasting that thing out. Ruby takes it.
What a weird fight. What a strange format this is.
That was a great one. Yeah, this is a really fun one. It's also very funny how relatively more quickly these go than our 1v1v1v1s.
Now, I will say we are getting a lot of F-Stormers in the chat.
F-Stormer.
So, RIP to a villain.
RIP to our
I was about to
enemy.
say to a friend, but I couldn't bring myself to do it.
That's no friend. That's extremely... Jeff got what was coming to him. He got the chance to be elevated. Clearly, he was out of good comedy, or else he would have used it in that final promo. But apparently, he had no jokes left, and so he had no choice to shill. Do I respect that? Yes. Will I trash talk him about it? Also, yes.
Well, and in the meantime, we are about to hop into our last semifinal round, as Fleur and Manic are about to face off.
Yeah. Still waiting on the link on that, so we're going to be a moment. But luckily, I did get one last promo from Fleur sent to us via email just a minute ago, so I can play that while we wait.
Planning ahead. I like to hear it.
Oh, I meant to transition, but I transitioned us in the wrong direction. There we go. All right. Yeah, truly, Frantic Fusions is one of my the other favorite of mine is one we're not using in this tournament, but it's one I really hope to in a future one. I hope it's known. Martin and I both have like so many more ideas for awesome modes to try out in future tourneys, assuming we continue to do this. But for now, we have more of this one, and Fleur has sent me one last promo, so let's take a look.
Hey Zoobs, can you pass it?
All right.
Have you ever tried natural ketchup?
Natural ketchup?
Yeah, it tastes like regular ketchup, except there's no high fructose corn syrup in it. It's more natural.
Does it taste better?
I like it more, but I guess it's an acquired taste. Regular ketchup tastes kind of sugary to me now.
Yeah. Is it still red?
Reddish brown, a little darker than Heinz.
Can you put it on French fries?
I usually like regular ketchup.
Can you get it at a normal grocery store?
I think so, yeah.
Hey Zoobs, is it a place?
No.
Is it expensive?
Regular priced.
Is it pulpy?
No.
Does it need to be refrigerated?
That's up to you.
It's soupy, right?
No.
Do you eat it every day?
Good.
Does it smell good?
Yeah.
Is it edible?
Yes.
Is it smaller than a bread box?
I guess it depends.
Yes
on
or
the
no?
Yes.
Is it all natural?
Yes.
Is it a condiment?
Yes.
Is it mustard?
No. 18.
Is it organic relish?
No. 19.
Is it natural ketchup?
These little wonders, these twists and turns
Floor sending us what I believe is a video by the band Tally Hall, if I'm correct. I knew it as soon as I saw it. Really just a lot of interesting moves when it comes to getting late game promos in here.
We're gonna... Okay, I think we need to do two things. One, I think we need to set up an official Moonshot let's all watch our favorite YouTube video stream. And secondly, I think we need to make a moratorium on don't just send us a YouTube video you like.
Unless it's really good. No.
Unless it's really good, yeah.
Unless
if it's really good.
If it's like really good, awesome. But if it's only pretty good, fuck off. Incredible. I'm transitioning us now to a sort of starting screen at our match between Manic and Floor. We saw them end that war of attrition back there. Dragalge, Noivern, a very fast dragon. I'm very curious how it syncs up with that Dragalge, both dragon types. It looks like it has that Noivern flying dragon. And Lunatone Suicune doing its own whole thing here.
Yeah, a wild couple Pokemon to start this match off. We've got a flying dragon... We got a flying dragon Noivern, which I'm used to seeing, but it's also a Dragalge.
Yeah, which means it could have some good poison moves. Dragalge has a really diverse move pool. I actually used one back in X and Y competitive for a long time. It's not super top tier, but it can get you a good special defense wall and just be one of those very diverse dragon types. In this case, it goes for an immediate focus blast, one of those just kind of type coverage moves I was just thinking of when I was saying that. Lunatone goes for that power gem to try and clip those wings, only gets it down to half.
Yeah, both Pokemon just firing off a powerful move that it knows to start this fight off. Dragalge has both the speed and damage advantage, though, and I think that does put Manic on the back foot to figure out what they want to do next turn.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. Lunatone has that pressure ability running. Dragalge could have one of a few. It could have Frisk, Infiltrator, or Telepathy. Frisk, I believe, steals an item. Infiltrator, I don't remember off the top of the dome.
Infiltrator lets you get around... It lets you, get around Light Screen and Deflect, I think?
I can look that up, but that sounds right.
You can't just Google the word Infiltrator. It's just a word in the English language.
Passes through opposing Pokemon's barrier and strikes. You're absolutely right.
Focus Blast misses as Lunatone goes for the rest asleep.
Wow.
Eats a Chesto Berry and wakes up.
You can't
The shoe is now on the other feet.
People, you can't
on the other
write
the other
this
feet.
shit.
The other
no,
foot.
No, it's on both. A foot was merged with another foot, so it's a foot that's 2 feet. Footlord.
Dragalge fires off another Focus Blast and eats a Power Gem to go down.
Damn.
I truly thought that Fleur had that win there, but that miss off of a Focus Blast, letting Lunatone take the moment to heal back up. What a play. What a turn.
Play. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I was taking a moment to check final match stuff, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Yeah, what I liked about that is that both Pokemon, being fusion, still had moves that could really take advantage of the other's typing. That Focus Blast was a clutch thing that I wouldn't really expect either Noivern or Dragalge to have, let alone inherit when combining like that.
Mm-hmm.
What I bet Floor is doing right now is seeing if they have any kind of grass type. Instead, we get a Malamar
Wobbuffet.
Whoa.
Pure Psychic.
Pure Psychic. It's going to have either Telepathy or Shadow Tag. This is a fascinating one because Wobbuffet just has 4 moves, which it's one of those Pokemon that is tooled to just work on 4 specific moves, all it ever gets. Really wondering how the fusion with Malamar affects that.
Yeah, Malamar, I'll be honest with you, I have never seen anyone actively choose to send out a Malamar, so I do not know what it is capable of and what kind of moves it could possibly have right here.
Yep, I have no idea. Malamar is Psychic and Dark type natively. What that means for the typing on this guy, or if not for the typing, but the move pool, probably means some Dark type stuff. I want to say it can learn Bug type moves because Malamar has a lot of lights on it, so we might see a Signal Beam coming out of this thing. Don't know if you'd use that against Lunatone. Really, the question is, what does it have that can take Lunatone Suicune at?
And I think Manic has to kind of think to themselves, what what am I looking? Even beyond just what moves it could have from Malamar, which of the moves from what Buffett did it inherit? Am I expecting a counter here? Am I expecting a mirror coat? Am I expecting both? Am I expecting neither? It's one thing to have to play around it when you know what it is. It's another thing entirely when there's a possibility that it could be that.
That's very true.
Substitute.
Yeah, we got a sleep from Lunatone Suicune and a substitute from Malamar Wobbuffet. Don't remember if that's one of Wobbuffet's moves or not offhand. Or
I don't believe so, and I don't know how it interacts with... I don't know how it would interact with counter and mirror coat. We've seen Psycho Cut, substitute, and knockoff. It seems like it just has moves from Malamar.
Yeah. Goes for the Scald against it. Takes down, or doesn't even take down the substitute. Substitute remains.
Now, we're in a weird spot where it seems like this Lunatone can't quite deal enough damage to break the substitute easily, but Malamar also can't deal enough damage to knock it out before it can rest back up.
Yeah,
we're in a weird... Go ahead.
No, I was going to say the strategy that Fleur is employing here is one I would do if Lunatone had been poisoned. If there was something chipping or burned, if it was being chipped away at, and Malamar just needed to buy time, but that's not the case. Lunatone keeps sleeping. It feels like they're both stalling, and I don't really know what's going on in either of their heads right now, to be honest.
Well, and even if Lunatone were poisoned, it's still, as a Pokemon with rest, it would be able to sleep through that too.
Yeah.
It seemed like both were evenly placed, but Wobbuffet couldn't do anything there.
No, it couldn't. Fleur decides to switch it out for this Venusaur Shiinotic. Gets that Grass Fairy. Hello, there is a Carbink Corviknight on the field. Flying Steel. Not great news for that Shiinotic Venusaur.
Well, it's a flying rock now, so it takes a little bit more damage than it would if it was a Steel type, but you still don't want to be... You don't want to be a Shiinotic or a Venusaur against it, not to mention both.
You truly don't. It still is going to have an arsenal against it, I want to say. But it's asleep. It's been leech-seeded by Shiinotic. That does put Shiinotic Venusaur... If I were Fleur right now, I would be really weighing the option of keeping that thing in or switching it out. And I might be risking it and keeping it in.
Yeah, Fleur last turn said, oh, you like putting Pokemon to sleep? I can do it too.
Two can play that game. Shiinotic is going to have those Venusaur abilities, so it's either Overgrow or Califeril. Chlorophyll, I don't know why I can never say that word. Light Screen goes up from Carbink. More health getting sapped by Leech Seed. Not that Shiinotic even needs it.
I was going to let you have it, but I'm imagining a Venusaur with Strength Sap, and it does give me chills. Strength Sap, a very powerful move.
Seriously.
Especially this Shiinotic will never lose HP that it cannot recover back with the mix of Strength Sap and Leech Seed.
Manic heavily relying on a lot of sleep stuff. Ooh, that last Energy Ball taking the bird down.
It looks like the last one, the last Energy Ball rolled really low, did 15%. That one did 24%. So I don't think there was any change in stats that happened between turns. This Barbaracle Bisharp comes in, a Dark Water type.
Yeah, interesting typing, cool coverage. Terrible thing to throw out right now.
Yeah, I don't tries really know. To Sucker Punch, but the Spore means that hey, I'm not touching you.
Literally everything about Shiinotic can kill this thing, except for the screen going on. I'm not totally sure what Manic's game is here. Maybe Manic doesn't either.
Look, in a format like this, maybe... Well, frankly, we didn't know what type it was going to be when it came out. Maybe it was going to be a Steel type that could deal with the Fairy. Steel Dark, things like that.
Almost certainly the gamble, or even Dark Rock, whatever the case may be. Barbaracle,
yeah, sometimes... Yeah. Ooh, we get a Shell Smash with a White Herb. Barbaracle powers up all of its stats. Does it have a move to really take advantage of him, though?
It could. What really surprised me there is it did that Shell Smash, which lowers its defenses, and yet Shiinotic wasn't able to one-shot it. I really expected it to be honest.
Yeah, well, and unfortunately, Well, the stats returned to normal, so it had regular defenses.
Oh,
but
okay, you're right. My bad.
yeah, it was eating the white herb.
Yeah.
Lunatone comes back in. Strength Sap onto it means... Now, we've seen a couple moves out of Lunatone. Lunatone seems to be specially built.
Yes.
So, Strength Sap, while it does heal up Shiinotic a bit, is not quite as powerful as it normally could be. This Shiinotic Venusaur is gross.
Really a tank. Really a powerful entity. I don't know a lot about
the ability to put Pokemon to sleep. I mean, there's a reason that these kind of sleep strategies are typically like banned in competitive play.
Not banned here. All rules fly on the moon. There are no laws on the moon. Is the thing about the moon. Always saying that. Barbacle comes back out.
Yeah, you get to put only one guy to sleep. Is the typical. Energy Ball comes in, finishes off the Barbacle.
Right, I really want to know what Manic has in the chamber that they were saving to make it worth throwing. Whoa! It's another shiny Wobbuffet. This one part Crocodile.
Crocodile will buff it with Intimidate.
Wow. Bringing in that Psychic Dark that we were talking about from Malamar that the Malamar one didn't get. Incredible stuff happening here. Really, wow, that's an interesting gambit. Leech Seed comes in, goes for the seed instead of the sleep. Mirror Coat gets attempted, doesn't pop off.
It seems like this Crocodile gets... It seems like it's inherited some of the Wobbuffet moves because it just tried to use a Mirror Coat. Failed because the opponent used a Leech Seed instead, but...
Yeah. I don't want to assume anything, but...
Shiinotic's coming in with Energy Balls, eats a Citrus Berry to recover, and Mirror Coats in response.
Ooh!
That Shiinotic goes low. It heals up a bit with the with the Leech Seed.
That Mirror Coat
is it low
play
enough that Crocodile can finish it off?
It might be. That Mirror Coat play does pop off. Now Floor knows it's coming though. I think if Floor's gonna switch it out, this might be a time to do that. Boy, that was a great turnaround right there. I was about to say that if Crocodile is what they went for right now, Dynamax, then I was worried about the rest of Manic's team. I'm no longer worried. Max Darkness almost takes Shiinotic down, doesn't quite make it.
Fires off the Dynamax, almost gets the kill, but comes back with a Strength Sap that heals it all the way back up.
That math doesn't even physically make sense to me. Psychic Terrain
doesn't make sense
up.
to me either, but this is quite possibly the grossest Pokemon I've ever seen.
This is disgusting.
This Grass Fairy tank.
Oh my god, Crocodile down to the red, still not out. Never mind, now it is. Shiinotic dines again. Manic down to 2.
Dragonite Quagsire comes in, a Dragon Ground type. Dragonite, a Pokemon with a lot of coverage moves.
Yeah.
Is there a chance that we see something good coming in to take out this Shiinotic?
Yeah, it could be. Shiinotic.
Dragon Dance?
Have we seen... We've seen Shiinotic's whole move set. It does not have a fairy move from the Shiinotic. It has all Venusaur moves. Goes for that Outrage. Doesn't affect Shiinotic.
Outrage is not effective.
Because of the fairy.
Is Dragonite still locked into Outrage?
I don't know.
It is
I want
not.
to say
Thank
no.
goodness for Manic.
That Energy Ball, only neutral effectiveness, still gets it far down enough for that Leech Seed to take it the rest of the way out.
And a Sandaconda Tauros comes out in the end.
Oh
a
my
normal
God.
Dark type.
Manic,
Every
buddy.
Pokemon that Manic has sent out this game has been weak to grass. What a terrible... And we get a Ferrothorn BEM, another grass type coming out.
Floor is giving us a victory lab, showing us the rest of their team. Ferrothorn, Psychic Grass.
Sandaconda doing what it can, but
Pops the
admittedly
stun
it
off.
is not much.
Yeah. Earthquake does do something. Floor not immediately switching, surprisingly. Doesn't want to show us those
they were playing it safe that turn.
Yeah,
I don't think that they were doing a victory lap.
Yeah, no. Yeah, this thing is a menace, they say in the chat.
What a tough game. What a wall to try and overcome with that Venusaur. I think it got down to I want to say about 2% of its health at one point, but it just didn't matter. What a match.
Good lord, I am just asking, Floor and Ruby are 2 finalists. Once again, Andrew, we come down to a top 2 of off-network friends doing the final championships for us here.
We are going to see a negative metagame random battle. The way that this one is going to work is that we are going to see these players play with Pokemon that are randomly chosen, but they are the opposite of their normal stats, essentially.
Okay.
If you've got a Pokemon like Machamp who's really good physically, but not great specially, I believe that those get flipped here. We're going to see a very special Machamp.
Yeah,
that's
so,
very frail.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, things get inverted. The moment of truth for me. Sorry, Ruby and Floor are both messaging me. Both have sent me promos for final matches. Floor's is an image that I'll throw up in a minute. Ruby's is a video with no sound that I am being told to narrate over.
If any of these are just your favorite YouTube video,
They're not.
I'm cutting it off.
They're not.
I'm ripping it from the air.
They're not. Ruby is writing me the script to theirs. First off, though, yeah, let's talk for a moment about inverse meta. I'm gonna write that down here. Yeah, how inverse meta works, as you were saying, is basically if a Pokemon had extremely high stats, they're getting inverted. Everything's kind of getting flipped. Things like a Minun, for example, are going to tear ass, whereas something like a Reshiram or a Zekrom becomes like the power level of a not well EV trained Manectric. Things, it's a pretty interesting meta. I barely can wrap my head around it, but me and Marn really liked testing it out.
Well, I'm excited to see how this goes.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of weird, powerful Pokemon over this weekend, so Jay, I'm glad that we've been able to reconcile our differences after I destroyed you in that first match, and thank you for joining me here today before we get into this last match. It's been nice working with you. I'm excited to see these promos and get into the match. Yeah, chat, I was the person in the finals last time. It was me.
It's true. It was you and who? It wasn't Floor, was it?
No, it was Danielle last time.
Thank you. It was Danielle.
I blew up my horse against Danielle's.
That's true. Yeah, which was an amazing final match. Yeah, and here we have Ruby and Floor. Let me get the correct stuff for both of them. So Ruby's, as I mentioned, has no audio, but I have been, which was a mistake on their end. I have been told what to say on their behalf. I haven't been told how to say it. Gorsh, you're going down, first person or second person. But I said the names in robot voices. And then I said, you're going fucking down. Thumbs up emoji. That's the whole thing.
Very well done. Thank you for the, I like the tag team in that one. It's nice. I didn't have to unmute my stream or anything. I just got to watch it and hear it live. Perfect.
I do want to shout out that lick-a-licky that Ruby held up, which has a long history. When we were Ruby's from my area. We grew up together as teenagers, and we went to the local Six Flags park where we got season passes one summer when they had a bunch of like third-party made Pokemon plushies that you could win. Where is the promo that I just... Oh, hold on. I need to call in the Floor's promo as a different type because it's not a video. That lick-a-licky was one of many that many of us won that summer, and Ruby has just sort of... It's just kind of followed Ruby and haunted everyone who hung out at that Six Flags park that summer ever since. For which I thank them thoroughly.
You said it's a third-party one. Is it...
Not third party, but more just like it's not a like one you would buy at Nintendo World Center in New York City or whatever. It's
okay.
Licensed, but it's not first party made.
It wasn't a Lucky plush. It was an actual. Okay.
No. Here's Floor's promo. I've reached my final form. Picture of what Floor looks like really in real life. Everyone who insulted Natural Ketchup will now apologize.
I'm not insulting it. It's a good video.
Yeah, Natural Ketchup good is just is very funny. That is what we got. I am still waiting for that link from the two of them. Give me Link. I am so hungry. Thank for Link.
This is why I slammed a burrito before the tournament.
Yeah, I'm not hungry in real life. I ate a delicious turkey sandwich while driving back from the long hike where I learned about Sword Lord. All right, let me crack this one open. You want to talk about? I'm about to switch us into it, but you want to talk about what we're looking at here?
I want to call out in the beginning. I do like that. Floor sharing in the chat of the match, there is a way to check the adjusted stats of each Pokemon. So no one's going in with more information than the other. They can look up anything as they go in. But we are starting off with Masharna, who we saw put in an incredible amount of work for Floor last time. Masharna's team is starting off against Diggersby, a very tough Pokemon. One of the interesting things about Diggersby is that one of its possible abilities is huge power, which doubles its strength.
Yes.
And I don't know how that's going to interact with the new rules moveset here.
Yeah.
It might be that strength gets lowered, but then doubled, meaning that it's still a pretty good attacker.
Well, and on that note too, we better hope that that's what it has. I mean, I guess they know, we don't know, but we better hope that's what it has, because its other options are pickup and the cheek pouch, neither of which is exactly the most optimal thing in this situation. I'm gonna go ahead and tell them to get on with it. Friends, I want to say before we do this, thank you so much for joining us this weekend as we enter this final match. Thank you so much for joining us for the Moonshot Second Pokemon Showdown tournament. No, I got that wrong. It's fine. This has been such a delight to put together. We were really tickled by how well this went at the moon landing stream, and everyone has loved being a part of it, and I'm sure everyone watching has loved watching it because you're all here watching it. So as we enter this final match, I just want to express that sincere gratitude.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna give them a ding 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 in the chat as well. Oh, I didn't log into Pokemon Showdown. I learn now as we enter. Psychic starting us off doesn't do a lot to Diggersby. Diggersby goes for that swords dance and is very safe in doing so.
Yeah, so one thing, like I'm looking in the chat right now, one thing that we're seeing here, this Masharna, very fast, very strong attack, not good special attack. Meanwhile, Diggersby has a pretty good attack and special attack, pretty low everything else. We're seeing the regular things get swapped.
Yeah, we are. I almost want to hold on. What's the okay? I'm gonna in the chat, if it'll let me, do some stat checking just so we have a record of what these changed stats are as we go through this.
Yep, I'm doing this right now.
Oh, you're doing it right now? Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, I'm looking in chat at the moment. This Mantine coming in, incredibly low special defense, but very high attack.
Yeah.
It turns what is normally a very tanky Pokemon into a Pokemon that seems like it could be a pretty good but kind of frail sweeper.
Yeah, meanwhile, Diggersby has a 110 special attack. It's down, but it had a 110 special attack. High special and physical attacks gunning for it.
So stat changes are not, I don't believe, are reversed. It's just that the Pokemon's base stats are starting differently than they normally are.
Yeah, it's entirely stat based. It's funny because, this is a final match rule set that isn't like as flashy as what we just did with Fusion Frenzy per se, but what it does do is, like a lot of the ones we've done this weekend and a lot of the ones we picked for this reason, really like made you rethink what the game even is and how you go about planning around it. Vanillix comes out from Ruby and drops that Hail.
Yeah, sets up Hail. Now, Vanillix kind of coming in, not the strongest of Pokemon. I think Vanillix is interesting. It's normally a pretty kind of a baseline fine Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
It's a Mario, a very cold Mario. So it doesn't in this format, it's just kind of like, well, you're still a pretty normal guy.
Yeah.
As opposed to these other ones that are being kind of reversed and flipped around and swapped up.
It does one-shot that Mantine, and dropping Hail is a nice tactical advantage in Ruby's favor, at least for right now.
Yeah, that Vanillix comes in, it uses Blizzard, which, Blizzard coming in is able to make sure that it always hits in hail. So you're just, you know what? This is a good special attack. Mantine's been flipped to being a really bad special defender. Let's try to fire that off and see if it can pick up a hit, and it sure did.
Yeah, it truly did. We're looking at Toxicroak, which I think is not going to do the best. It's got an attack of 54, which is not what this guy starts out as normally. Toxicroak, not exactly a top performer in normal gameplay, but you know, a poison fighting type with some decent stuff at its disposal typically. Not today though.
Yeah, it starts off, brings in a Drain Punch that normally would do a good chunk of damage to a Vanillux with the same type advantage bonus that Toxicroak gets, and it being weak. But in this one, it doesn't quite do as much as you'd want. Now, swaps into a Sudowoodo, a Pokemon that is going to have really low defenses due to the swaps.
Yeah.
So,
oh my
it is
god!
also weak to that Drain Punch. So it comes in, deals a lot of damage.
Low defenses, however, special attack and speed 130. 130, biggest it could be, pretty much. However, it does go down to that second Drain Punch.
The fascinating thing here, it was a powerful special attacker. I doubt it has special attacking moves.
No.
Because I believe that the move sets are still set to what they would normally be.
You are correct.
So the Pokemon they're not re-optimized for their new stats.
Not in the slightest.
This is a Pokemon that is leaving it all on the table when it comes to its good special attack.
Yeah, that is.
It says, I'm here to Woodhammer.
That is why, again, it is difficult to even accurately predict what will be the most efficient kinds of typically low stat Pokemon, because you don't always necessarily know. Speaking of which, hello Buzzwole.
Hello Buzzwole, one of the newest Pokemon coming to Pokemon Unite soon.
Is it really?
Sure is, an all-rounder.
Cracks out a
fires off a superpower, which uses that 21 attack stat that it currently has.
Yeah, that's not a lot. It has just what you were talking about with Sudowoodo. It has a special attack of 107. I don't know if it has the chops for that. Ruby switches it out for Sawsbuck, giving Floor a chance for a second Swords Dance.
God. Now this is a Summer Sawsbuck, which means it is a normal grass type. Actually, now that I say this, does it change typing as it changes?
It's always grass and normal, I believe. Immediately downed by a 3 times effective Drain Punch.
Yeah, this has been. It's now. Fleur's been able to compensate for the Toxicroak's, frankly, fine attack stat here. Not great, but not terrible. A Magearna. Now, this is typically a very powerful Pokemon. Nowadays...
Oh, God, that's not good. That's not good across the board. Base stat total of 360. 80 HP, 65 base attack, 45 base special defense. I assume this thing's normally a special attacker. I have very little experience with Magearna.
I would assume so. I believe that Magearna's never really been legal in a lot of competitive play.
Right.
Its ability Soul Heart raises its special attack by 1 stage every time another Pokemon faints. And being a Steel Fairy type, you are set up to kill things very well.
The frog one-shots it!
Crumples.
Oh my... Oh, hi, Vanillux. I forgot you were still alive.
Vanillux is back. Sets that hail back up, able to get off a freeze dry, but gonna go down to an ice punch.
That's just showing off.
Now we're just showing off. That's
showing off. That's playing
This
nerdy.
is when we're doing touchdown dances here.
Oh my god. I want to really applaud Floor here because, again, with the stat changes in this mode, Toxicroak's physical attack is its lowest stat natively at a base level. Those 2 Swords Dances, Floor managed to crank it back. I keep saying crank. I gotta stop saying crank. Raise it back up from that low place to the point where it has been one-shotting and one-shotting. Poison Jab can't do a thing to it.
Yeah, Floor's really able to benefit from the fact that the move that Toxicroak has is Drain Punch.
Oh my god.
The ability to sit for a couple turns, take some attacks off of stats that are not the primary stat that a couple Pokemon have, as it just charges up its attack, and then get in with the Drain Punches to heal back that leftover HP, just proved invaluable. In the chat, we're hearing that the last ones left over were Pheromosa and Smeargle.
Oh my god. Smeargle. I feel
which
like
they say
could've-
those two Pokemon would have been terrible. It sounds like they're saying in the chat.
What Smeargle have? I feel like Smeargle. I don't know this. I guess I would have assumed Smeargle would have gotten jacked in this mode.
But Smeargle has all tech moves apparently. But what an absolute sweep by this Toxicroak. And I guess we're gonna go back to our base screen.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Fleur, the official second champion in the Pokemon Showdown.
Congratulations! Wow, what a night it's been.
What an incredible night! What an incredible weekend of Pokemon.
Yeah, seriously.
As Jay was saying before, thank you all for coming out to join us. Thank you all for some frankly incredible matches tonight.
Yeah.
Wild 4v1s, a truly cracked fused Venusaur sweep. What a great evening of Pokemon. Thank you all for coming out and spending your weekend with us.
Yeah.
It truly means the world to us.
It absolutely does. I'll give the usual, stuff we plug, which is that if you're watching this and you don't follow a bunch of our shows, you can find the Moonshot Podcast Network on Twitter, on the internet. Where you can find a bunch of our shows. Please follow us here at twitch.tv/Moon Network if you have Moonshot Network if you haven't. This tournament, in case you missed it, was a donation goal from back at the Moon Landing stream, and thank you for getting us there because we loved doing this. This is not an official announcement of anything, but I think it's safe to say that we'll be doing more of this in the future because, frankly, everyone's really fucking jazzed to do that.
At the very least, we have to go until I win one.
Yes, you need to win one. I need to be redeemed and win a match. Spoilers for my promos next time. My balls are doing better, by the way. Thank you. The jalapeno smell is still kind of in the air. I'm looking into some good deodorants. I'm trying to find the right one to work here.
Marn in the chat says we have to go until a Moonshot host wins.
Yes, that is true. The Moonshot Podcast Network belongs to the Moonshot Podcast Network. I feel like these tournaments still don't. We are trying. This is like. These tournaments are a single location of a chain restaurant that is like locally owned and has a different menu, and we are corporate coming in time after time to eventually regulate that weird A&W into submission.
On that note, I think that we are going to call it this evening. So thank you all again for coming out and joining us.
I want to hold you for 1 second. I have one thing to play before we do that. If I'm not stepping over anything else you were about to say.
I was about to pitch it over to that.
Okay, good. So speaking of the moon landing, anyone who watched that lovely stream back in May will know that myself and Marn and several other people played Time to Drop, which is an incredible time loop heist tabletop game of Marn's own design. Y'all unlocked a sequel to it, and guess what? That sequel's coming. Marn sent me a trailer for the sequel, the one-shot sequel to Time to Drop, a tabletop game where we did successfully steal the moon in just two time loops was all it took. I got a little something to play for you.
You don't want to reset the time loop again? Or maybe we do?
Hey, fuck it. Hold on. Resizing this to make more sense. There we go. Going back to the start. Go. Perfect on the first try.
Time loop again? Or maybe we do?
Hey, fuck it. Pluto just stands up, grabs the whole shot from the belt pack, tears the top open, shakes it all up. Oh my god. Opens the first two cans, opens the next two cans, opens the next two cans, and just holds them above their head like a fucking boombox in a rom-com. Let's go. The running up that hill music is such a choice. Thank you so much.
It sure is. And on that note, I think it is time that we say goodnight.
It is.
Thank you all for coming out, everyone.
Andrew, it's been a pleasure streaming with you. Shout out to Riley for setting so much of this up. Shout out to Martin for helping setting so much of this up. Shout out to myself for setting some of this up, but I can only praise others. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and until the next time we do this, or something on this lovely Twitch channel, a good night.